Guys, we're gonna run this black Hotshot today and talk a little bit about what's in common and what's different on these. And this is a vintage Hotshot, and then the wing is aftermarket or from a different one or something. But somebody took the time to take a black magic marker and spell out Hot Wheels on top of the clear spoiler, and then they painted it on the back side. And I thought that was pretty cool when I bought it because I also collect Hot Wheels. There's the Grasshopper Jeep, and it's the red line tires on it. It says 1970 on the bottom, and that's usually the year it was copyrighted, so it probably came out in 71. This one I had since a kid, it says 1976 on the bottom, and it's second wind. It was meant to be the Mach 1 speed racer back then, but Hot Wheels lost the rights, so they had to change a few things, and then it came out like that. And then this one, the Vet Van, says 1979 on the bottom. It's got the old-fashioned wheels on it. And then this Camaro says 1982 on the bottom. So yeah, collect Hot Wheels. So when I found this, I thought it was pretty cool. So these came out in 85, and they were the first four-wheel drive Tamiya buggy. And you can tell if you got an old one if there's no aluminum panel to get at your receiver. This one is a newer one. It's not too new, but it's a re-release, so it's got the aluminum panel there. So this one I got as a roller. Someone had taken all the metal dog bones out, the center shaft out of it. So I had a box of vintage parts. So it has the vintage style, which are a little different. They're bigger dog bones. So I had to replace all the drive cups and stuff, but I had that all in the box. So I kind of rebuilt this poor thing, and then it didn't have a spoiler on it, a wing. So I have a ZD Racing one that's pretty much indestructible. It's rubbery and stuff like that. So then, you can tell this is nice and skinny. In 86, they came out with the Boomerang, and it's still the same suspension, and it's the same gearboxes, but they just made the body wider to cover the battery. Now, this one's original because it still has the old Futaba servos, one there for the mechanical speed control, and then one under there for the steering. And then I put in a newer receiver, and then it's still got the resistor to select your 3 speeds forward and your 1 reverse. Then the Big Wig, that was really something. That was in 86 also, but that was the most expensive 4-wheel drive Tamiya you could buy back then. And I can't really say the designer guy's name, but he was Japanese and in the car business of like designing race cars and stuff like that. So Tamiya had them design this for the 10th anniversary of their RC vehicles because 76 was their first one, and then this was for 86. So the big scoop on the top's like a Formula One car. And then it's really wide body because normally back then they ran a 7.2 volt pack, but this one they made it wider to have one more cell running that way, so it was 8.4 volts, and then it had a special black motor. This one doesn't have its original anymore, and this one's original because in the tub, the chassis, it says made in Japan, and then now they're all made in Philippines, Cebu City, actually, because I lived in the Philippines, and once in a while when I go on vacation to Cebu, I get to see the factory kind of over there by Mactan Island by the airport, but I don't think you can really get inside. I've watched it on YouTube and stuff, and they don't really let people inside, but someday I'll stop and ask the security guard. I'll wear my Tamiya hat, and I'll see if I can get inside and take a look at it. So yeah, just a little overview. These were the skinny guys in 85, and then 86 and 86. So those were the 4-wheel drive, shaft drive buggies, and then we keep them far away from the Kyoshos. This is an original 86, came out with the Turbo Optima that also had the wide body because the year before it was a skinnier body. And then that's like my favorite. I love how the front shocks are aimed in at such an angle and stuff, and kind of is like a grasshopper looking body a little bit. It doesn't have a separate wing, so it kind of really stands out. And this is one that came out later that won lots of races, the Optima Mid, and that's just because the motor is in front of the rear axle a little bit, not real mid-mounted, but a little bit. So yeah, this is another oldie, all original tires and stuff on it. And then the Kyosho down there is the stadium truck. So okay, we will run this old guy, give him a little bit of exercise. Please subscribe. I keep running these, giving them exercise, keeping them all going and stuff. You can't really jump them too high or anything because the plastic's old and things crack. Like on this one, I cracked the little steering knuckle, or the upright, Tamiya calls it. So a little bit of super glue took care of it. I do have a 3D printer. I could print it, but I'm just trying to keep it original as much as I can. So here we go.